was 6'3".
I think it was 6'3". Yeah. Exactly.
Positive.
So he was at 6'3".
Is this a fucking politics show? Are you serious?
You also don't talk about the Supreme.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Sam Seder roasting Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David is lying for the Trump campaign, and Sam Seder is calling it out. Let's get into it.
The title of this PBD podcast, I got news for you. There ain't going to be Doge dividend checks. Now, what there might be is tax cuts for Patrick Bet-David, but 40% of the 40% already of the contracts that Doge has canceled have zero savings because they've already been paid out.
Right.
They've canceled. It's like
you have a contract for $10 million that has been over a 5-year period. They're saying it's $10 million in savings, but they've spent $8 million of it already.
Yeah,
right.
Except for in this instance, it sounds like they spent $10 million.
Right.
And they just canceled the contract. So we paid for it, but we're just not getting the full. It's like you bought a year of Majority Report, and you decide 6 months in, I'm not listening anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't save you any money. I think actually we do prorate when we return, but we have better deals.
Well, we are the efficient.
The point being,
show.
They've got to make it like there's actually something going on other than the destruction of the administrative state. That's the only thing they care about. Mm-hmm. If they cared about taxpayer money, they wouldn't be giving huge tax breaks to billionaires who hoard money. Go ahead.
Oh, and this is, by the way, about Bolsonaro.
Next story, and you'll see why I'm going into this next story, okay? So Brazil's Bolsonaro, okay, charged over alleged coup that included a plan to poison Lula, okay?
Wow.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a James Bond film.
So, prosecutor, again, this is AP News. Brazil's prosecutor general formally charged President Bolsonaro. Why don't they put the guy's name? They should put the guy's name. Bolsonaro with attempting a coup, alleging he agreed to a plan called Green and Yellow Dagger to poison President Luiz Lula da Silva and assassinate Supreme Court Justice.
So here we have Patrick Bet-David. He is sticking up, wanting to provide a good face for the ruling criminal class who is, they're not only taking away our Medicaid, they are also, giving outrageous tax cuts to the rich that are in cahoots with this criminal, the criminal ruling class. They are basically one and the same at this point. And, he's saying, oh, we're going to get these checks. It's okay. They might actually care about us as a people, even though PBD has become sort of a celebrity face, a part of this whole, ruling upper head. Hey, you can be like me if you just buy X, or, just another grifter.
Alexandre de Moraes, Bolsonaro's defense called the accusations dismaying and indignating, while his son, Senator Flavio Bolsonaro, dismissed the indictment as empty and politically motivated. The indictment, based on manuscripts, digital files, spreadsheets, and message exchanges, described a coordinated effort to overturn Bolsonaro's 2022 election loss by pressuring military leaders, drafting legal cover, and inciting riots. The Supreme Court will decide whether to proceed with a trial where Bolsonaro could face up to 20 years in prison, up to 38 years, if convicted of attempting a coup. So now, you hear this story. While I'm there, I want to learn about what the system's like.
So just to preface this, he goes in a little bit on his trip to actually interview Bolsonaro, in the days prior to that announcement.
Oh, okay. So he's just come back from an interview with Bolsonaro.
And he's talking about Brasilia here.
Which she was there just 2 months ago. We stayed at that hotel. And we went to the House, Congress, they walked us around Senate, they walked us around everywhere. We had a chance to see everything that was going on in Brazil. Interviews coming out on Monday. And while we're talking, here's what we learn about Brazil. Watch this. And why this applies to America. Americans, it's so important to realize this. Do you know, oh my God, do you know if Trump, his greatest accomplishment that he did on his first term, you know what it was? Flipping 3 seats.
That's right.
When he flipped 3 seats, you can call it luck, you can call it whatever. We were debating this, Brandon, a power, hand of God. You can call it whatever you want. Obama had 8 years. He flipped 1 seat. Trump had 4 years,
Supreme
flipped
Court.
3 seats, and one of the years was COVID here.
Okay, all right.
And he flipped 3 seats.
Wait, is he talking-
He's talking about the Supreme Court because he's leaving out the part so far where Bolsonaro wasn't just in the plot trying to poison Lula. There was also a plot to assassinate via firearm one of the Supreme Court justices. So this is what he's getting at here. So he's erasing the...
And you know how conservatives go. If anything good happens, it has to be because of Trump, because of what he's done. It has to be, which, I mean, to be fair, Trump has set it up that way. Trump has, prophesied himself as the next coming. It's a self-prophecy. It's not even, he's saying, oh, anything good that happens, it's definitely because I'm now in office. But anything that's bad that's going on, that has nothing to do. That has to deal with the domestic enemies that are inside of our own. That has to do with the deep state. The deep state is the one that's causing all of this to happen. It has nothing to do with what the heck I'm doing.
Fact that Mitch McConnell just basically refused to use the Senate procedures that had been allowed prior to that to confirm Merrick Garland.
Well, he wouldn't even hold a hearing.
He wouldn't even hold a hearing, which is caused the Democrats, right? They changed the rules after that, right?
Well, he wouldn't hold. No. He just decided he was going to break every tradition. He claimed 9.5 months out from the election that you should not hold a hearing for a new Supreme Court justice. You should wait until after the election. However, they confirmed Amy Coney Barrett, the third of the seats, 3 weeks.
Right.
Before
when
the election.
Ruth
Call
Bader
it luck or
Ginsburg
whatever.
had died right in the fall before the 2020 election.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just to note, President Bolsonaro was already tied to a political assassination of Marielle Franco in 2019. So where there's a lot of smoke here.
Yeah.
So wait a sec. So he's saying he amazingly flipped 3 seats. First of all, Mitch McConnell did it.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
You're talking about Supreme Court seats. Okay, gotcha.
Now here we have how many seats? 9. When he flipped at the end of his term, what was the number? Was it 6-3, Tom, or was it 5-4 at the end of his term?
Biden?
No, conservatives to liberals.
Yes.
No, I think it was
the-
6-3. There was
I
only
think it
3
was
left.
6-3.
Yes.
Exactly.
Pause it
So
for a
he was
second.
at 6-3.
Is this a fucking politics show? Are you serious?
You also don't talk about the Supreme
Jesus.
Court. That's why everyone's confused, because flipping seats is when you're referring to the
Yeah, I thought he was saying, like, wait a second, did 3 people switch parties?
Obama apparently only flipped 1 seat in 8 years on the Democratic
you
side.
don't flip a seat. How do you flip the seat? Like,
Yeah. I mean, you flip it when the Supreme Court justice flips right into a coffin.
I assassinated 3 Supreme Court justices and put in a new one. Okay, go ahead.
So this is what Bolsonaro's trying to do by flipping a seat, flipping,
what he
the
should have done.
trigger.
Liberals.
Yes.
No, I think it was
the-
6-3. There was
I
only
think
3
it was
left.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more content like this.
6-3, exactly.
Oh my
so he
God.
was at 6-3. The next term, if you guys remember this, what did they try to do to
Pack
Trump?
the cords.
Do you remember? No, Colorado's talk about pack the
Yeah.
cords. But do you remember when Colorado was the first state to come out and say what? And you're
We're
like, Pat,
removing
this
him
is a
from
big
the
deal. This is a
ballot.
big deal.
Off
we
the
want,
ballot.
We
That's
want to
right.
remove
Took
him
him off
off
the
the ballot. Then other states started coming in and saying what? Yeah, we're going to do it too. Yeah, we're going to do it too. Yeah, we're going to do it too. And then who said, pump the brakes? Not going to happen.
Supreme
Who?
Court.
Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
By the way, what would have happened if it was 6-3 the other way around? If it was 6-3 the other way around, Trump's not president today.
That's right.
So let me explain to you. If it's 6-3 the other way around, Trump may be in jail today. His kids may be in jail today. Everybody may be in jail today. While I'm in Brazil, you ready for this? 2016, Trump wins election. They call Bolsonaro the Trump Brazil. He wins in 2018. They've both been married 3 times. They both have 3 kids from their first wife, 1 from the second, 1 from the third. Both of them. Okay.
Pause it for 1 second.
Bolsonaro.
Did Bolsonaro also be accused credibly of rape by his one of his ex-wives?
I wouldn't want to say authoritatively no.
I'm just curious.
But you
I
can't
just want to
have
see how
all the
consistent
parallels.
the parallels.
It seemed. Did they have the same moon sign? I mean, honestly.
Also, like, tried coups. Like,
Also, did Donald Trump? Okay, so if Biden is Lula in this instance, although he's more like Bernie, if Biden is like Lula in this instance, like this would have required Biden to have previously been president, right? And for him to have gone to prison on trumped up charges that a conservative judge had engaged in, trumping them up and not Donald Trump, but making them into more than what they were, and then that being disproven and him leaving office.
they're saying that, yeah, it's like lawfare, which Lula was actually imprisoned and spent
Yes.
significant amount of time for, that was supported by our government corruptly. Now he was exonerated, like you said, won back into office.
How is he making Bolsonaro the victim here when Lula was literally in prison for lawfare?
And the way that they
So there we have it, you guys. We have Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder. They're calling out Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David suffers from Trump sucking syndrome. He enjoys to just be the fool and do nothing but blow smoke up anyone who loves Trump. He does it for free. He just blows smoke right up their butt and really just does nothing but make himself look stupid. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.